Yeah, so we're just speaking amongst ourselves there, saying Ryan and Justin haven't seen for each other for so long they were giving each other virtual hugs and shit. But hey, welcome to the Cover Price Top 10 for the week ending September 20th. We got two long-term despots about to return, Nemesis Prime and Darkside Jedi. Before we get right to it, boys and girls, how about some DJ Curse to set what I like to call mood music?
The world's three greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update. In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
Go on and get some, boy. What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is update.
What's in the box?
Like a spider monkey.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the longest introduction in the world. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Welcome once and back again to the Cover Price Top 10, where we cover the top 10 selling comic books for the week, pulled from about 4 or 5 different websites from our friends over at CoverPrice.com. Once back again, Nemesis Prime. Say hello to the good people.
What's on, everybody? Today's going to be a marvelous top 10.
I think he's alluding to
foreshadowing.
something. And speaking of giant shadows, Darkside Jedi, say what's up.
Hey, everybody. Long time no see. How's it going? Missed ya, for reals. Glad to be back.
It is going swell. I'm going to say shout out to everybody in the live chat. This show is sponsored by our friends at CoverPrice.com. Go to CoverPrice.com, sign up for a 2-week free trial, and you can use all the awesome comic book collecting tools that CoverPrice.com has to offer. Matter of fact, the guys at CoverPrice told me that they are updating some things on their back end. That's what she said, but it's going to offer you a faster user experience. I'm looking forward to that. It's already a great tool to have, and we run this every Tuesday. Show's also sponsored by our friends at Rocket Comics. Tell them the Lords of the Long Box sent you. Get 20% off your pressing order. Also, the show is sponsored by our friends at KRS Comics. Go to discount code of go to KRScomics.com. Use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off anything in the KRS Comics exclusive. They got a bunch of betters, much better than Unknown Comics, because Unknown Comics gets the salute of the day. So shout out to our friends at KRS Comics. Make sure you go to them to buy your variant, not to Unknown Comics. Show is also sponsored by the geekyswagshop.com. Go to the geekyswagshop.com. Use discount code of LOTLB to get your discount off of t-shirts and gaiters, because I think you're gonna have to cover your face for the rest of our lives. So let's get right to it. We'll go first off. Shout out to my man Matt Forge and the Butcher for the pressable defect shirt. Finally got a size that fits. It's not pushing up against my titties right here, but this is a really nice quality shirt. If anybody ever wants to send me a shirt, I will more than be happy to.
Yeah, I want one of those too. Shit, what the hell?
So you got to hit up the boys at Pressable Defects. Make sure you guys sub up Pressable Defects. Also sub up Spine Ticks, my man Sith Lordly holding it down, new YouTube channel. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Al, Sith Lordly Deep Dive Comic, Gomez, a comic collector. It goes on and on and on. We could go on forever. Lon Espinosa, JLS Comics, hold it down with the wrench. Cover Lover Letters, Cover Lover Comics. So I can't even speak. It's been so long since I had other people to speak to. I've noticed that YouTube has been slow recently too, man. If you guys noticed like less views, less subs recently, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I don't know if people are just having other things to do, but
Back to work.
yeah,
Pretty much back to
maybe.
work, back to school.
I think schools are finally opening back up, believe it or not. So I don't know. I've been in my cocoon forever now.
Yeah.
So only thing different is I was able to see a movie with like 3 other people the other day. So and I don't think Ryan can even do that yet.
No, theaters are not open in Michigan yet.
What about you, Justin, or New Jersey?
They are in Jersey. I just haven't figured out what movie I want to go see and make it.
But
a big,
not New York, though,
big
right?
thing.
New York
No.
is still closed down.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do anything in New York.
Has
yet.
anybody seen that Antebellum movie? That looked really good to me.
I do want to see that.
I think
you
it's,
can order it on
that's on
Amazon.
VOD.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
on VOD. But I saw Tenet and I saw New Mutants, and then my lady, there was a couple of chick flicks that she saw. So we actually went to a movie theater and we sat in separate theaters. She was like, I don't even care. You go see Tenet. She goes, I'm going to see my chick flick. She goes, I'm just happy that mumovie theater is big open. I go, thank God. I have
How
to
many
sit through
people
this.
are in the theater when you're there?
So when you use the AMC app, as soon as you buy one ticket, either seat beside you gets crossed out, so the people can't buy any seats beside you. So that's perfect. I hate going to a theater and
What if you're going with 2 people? So you
the
can't
AMC
sit
app,
next to
you
each
can
other?
select 2 people. Dude, hello, this
okay.
is technology. Do you guys don't have any?
Well, you said if you select one, it X's out the other 2. I would.
Yeah,
If
but
you only
if
select
on-
one.
No, on the AMC app, if you have
I get it.
somebody else who's also a AMC Stubs member, you can select 2, and then it uses their money, but they have to approve it. Just like if you go to Regal, you can like select tickets at the ticket counter, and you go this one and this one. So if you're together, then they X everybody out. But shit, every movie I saw, there was only like 2 other people in there, so I was like, perfect.
That's awesome.
So I got to know Bob and Jill really well. It seems odd to sit in an empty movie theater with 2 other people and not introduce yourselves. Like, we're gonna go through this journey together, boys. Like, why don't we just say hello to each other? So
you could discuss the finer points of the film after.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wear masks, but I mean, you don't have to. They said if you're eating and drinking, you don't have to wear a mask, and most people that's throughout the entire film. But for Tenet, it was pretty crowded. Tenet is definitely you have to see on the big screen because it's a treat for the eyes visually. You may want to go pretty sober though, because there's some. It's a Nolan movie. Time travel's involved. I think I messed up and I went there a little bit inebriated, and I should have paid more attention. So I'm gonna go see it again sober, so I could see it again. But it's totally worth it, man. But before
Sounds
we
like
get
it's a
off,
movie you got to see twice anyway, regardless.
isn't
if
that
you're
what every
sober or not.
Nolan film that's not Batman you gotta see twice?
Right.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I mean, I know Zach's on. He's gonna see it again, but there's some. He likes to fuck with time a little. You know what I'm saying? I think there's some. I don't want to give away too much, but. Speaking of which, I'm going to be dropping a movie review hopefully tomorrow. My man James Simon is cutting up for me, and I cannot recommend it enough for you people stuck at home. It's called Orígenes Secretos, or Unknown Origins. Absolutely fantastic Spanish Batman type film. That's all I want to say. Wait for my review. It's totally worth it. So let's get, without further ado, which we've already been doing, let's get right to the top 10, boys and girls. And as every week, we have a runner-up. This one should be surprised that it's on here. This news dropped this week. Boom. At number 11, I'm surprised it didn't come in higher since the news has been out for a minute, but I think everybody already has this and the price starting to jump up. But we have our She-Hulk. Deadline reports that Tatiana Maslany, I think I said that right, lands a role in the new Marvel series of She-Hulk. Tatiana is a master chameleon, has looked different in every project she's ever been. She's most notable for her role in Orphan Black.
Great show.
As Sarah Manning. With this news, She-Hulk's first appearance sold 24 copies, had a 7-day trend of 102%, a high sale of $745 for a CGC 9.8. Gosh darn, I'm really pissed off. I sold all 3 copies that I have.
I have one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I made money off these, but man, I didn't think it'd be. So we always talk about this is one of Stanley's last original creations for Marvel Comics. So this is like, I always say it's like double spec. First appearance, last time Stanley really created a major character in the comics, but finally getting some movement on these boys and girls. So if you've been paying attention at home, so we got WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, She-Hulk, Kamala Khan is right around the corner. Moon Knight. So whenever, just start snatching these up, because as soon as the casting news drops, we always tell you, we'll buy it before the news drops, because then there's going to be sales spikes that jump up all over the place. And sure enough, this has hit that. So you're probably going to have to wait for a few months to buy it, or it could be an upward trend. But, you know, I laughed at the people who kept on thinking that they needed to cast like Ronda Rousey or these giant actresses. What are you, to paint their skin green? Come on,
Right,
man. This
yeah.
is 2020. We have CGI. We don't need Lou Ferrigno painted in green to play the She-Hulk, man. That's crazy. But they were like finding the biggest, buffest actors they could find to play it. I was like, come on, she's gonna Hulk out in CGI. So they're number 11 on the list is Savage She-Hulk from 1980. Wow, 1980.
But to be fair, they didn't use Ferrigno as, what was it, David Banner in that show.
Yeah.
So someone else.
They just, yeah. So what are you gonna this? And then first thing I did is I Googled her. She's 5'4". You know, she seems like a normal sized woman. So, you know, if they're gonna make her a giant 7-foot woman, you know, where are they gonna find some? Remember China from the WWE? Remember her big old crazy ass? I wonder what happened.
You know, she did. Never mind. I can't. People are going to think I'm a pervert. Well, they already know.
Yeah,
she did a. She was She-Hulk in an Avengers parody.
Oh Lord, yeah. Don't Google that, kids. This is definitely a rated PG-13 film. But she had a. She went down a bad rabbit hole, man, where she was got all kinds of weird cosmetic
Cocaine is a hell of a
surgery.
drug.
Oh, more than that, man. All of them. All right, so let's move on. Savage She-Hulk number 1 is the runner-up or number 11 on the list, because this is the only top 11 and the best top 11 on the internets.
That's right.
Next up, what do we got for number 10, Justin?
Number 10 is a book that's been on and off this list, Strange Academy number 1. I mean, it is still trending in the aftermarket. Hard to find that first print. Tons of variants. Peach Momoko, J. Scott Campbell. But, man, even though the prices have dipped a little bit, it's still made the top 10. It sold 29 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 100% and a high sale. It's cracking the $200 mark for a CGC 9.8. And this is continuing to sell, man. And what are we only at, like issue 3, right?
Yeah, number issues 3. And even the reprints have been hot, and I've been bullish on this book. There's tons of first appearances, and we also had a scoop that because of the popularity, Marvel wants to do a Hogwarts type show for Disney Plus. I think this is perfect because, you know, Xavier's School of Mutants, that's totally different. This is more on the magic realm. This can get Marvel the Hogwarts Harry Potter type crowd, since they don't have the IP for that. And when Strange Academy came out, you know, Harry Potter fans are really hardcore, right? They were all poo-pooing on this, saying, oh, it's just a Hogwarts ripoff, you know, give me my Quidditch and all this good stuff. But there's some good characters in here. I mean, you got a dude named Doyle Dormammu, for God's sakes, right? I mean,
Well, Doyle rules.
Doyle rules, yeah. So it's a fun read, and it's right there for that kind of, you know, teen, you know, Harry Potter magic crowd. So I can definitely see a franchise of this coming. But that's what we had as a scoop, is Marvel really likes to do it because that's why they're pushing it so much. So if you see these, snatch them up. So number 10 on the list is Strange Academy number 1. That's just a regular cover. Like Justin said, there's a ton of variants in it, including that gorgeous Peach Momoko variant. Shout out to Kickstarter Comics who gave me that. I still like that one. That's probably my only really Peach Momoko I like. Have you noticed the Peach Momoko fuzz has gone down?
Yes,
Yeah, because she's overused
her
every
artwork
week.
looks like the last couple things I've seen are not impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one trick pony. You know, I think, you know, they go. Even Art Germ has to change, but we'll see if she pops up.
I
again,
did
you know.
buy one of her King Robin books or Robin King books, but
Yeah.
I haven't gotten it yet.
My best one is the Ghost Spider, where she had the cell phone. That was before she blew up. So
Yeah. The Peach Momoko or the Strange Academy one is dope because it's a magic cover. So it's I think, you know, that and New Mutant. So we shall see. But there's a ton of great variants on. You know, they got the second and third printings are just internal covers, but they look cool too. So it's interesting that this crept back in. I wonder why. Number 9 on the list. That's right. We have a Miles sighting, believe it or not. So number 9 on the list is Miles Morales, Spider-Man, number 6 from 2019. This is considered a first pull appearance of Starline, or the Vulture's granddaughter. Now, there's plenty of debate with this or issue 5 owning the first appearance title. At the end of issue 5, there's a big splash page with the dialogue that includes her starling name. This closely mirrors the age-old Hulk 180, 181. Wolverine has the same appearance at the end of 1A. Regardless, she's hot right now, and the market is favoring issue number 6. It sold 19 copies at a 7-day trend of 157%. It had a high sale for $200, for God's sakes.
Wow.
For your CDC 9.8, for those who are speculating that the Vulture's granddaughter is going to appear somewhere. Now, if you use your powers of deduction and realize that there is a Vulture in the movie and he does not have any grandchildren, I'm just saying, use your common sense when you're specking sometimes, boys and girls, because it's fun, but I have a feeling this came from the deep trenches of the internet somewhere where people are like saying, hey, by the way, this is a first appearance and it's the Vulture's granddaughter.
What's common sense though? Don't apps tell people what to buy?
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean,
YouTube
who
channels, there's all kinds of things. It makes for the hobby fun, but this one's a bit of a stretch unless you think in the Miles Morales Spider-Verse film that they would put in the Scorpion's granddaughter when he already exists. You see, I'm trying to put the dots together for people here, but they won't listen to us. But either way, number 9 on the list is Miles Morales Spider-Man number 6 from 2019, the first appearance of the Vulture's granddaughter. Next up is more of a normal spec and probably something we can understand. What do we got for number 8?
Well, you already talked about the She-Hulk book, but that's actually not number 8. But how about that? You sure you got that right there, Tim?
This is what I have in the.
All right. I mean, we'll go with
just
that
run
one.
it. Yeah,
we'll run it.
Just,
we'll run that one.
We'll just flop them. So I don't think it's
flop.
much. 7 or 8 just flop. Go ahead and run and read it.
This one's pretty good though. I like this one. This is the Batman 99, the 1 in 25, George Jimenez, a Nightwing variant. They've done all these design variants since issue number 92, starting with the punchline. They are popular. You can't hate that. So usually after the first few variants, there's some fatigue on these designers, like I said, but they've been kicking them out and people want them. So
now, is this George or is it Jorge?
It will go Jorge.
If it's a J, it's Jorge.
Okay. I love his artwork. He did all that the Bat Robin and
Super Sons.
Yeah, the Super Sons.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah,
What's the ratio on these? Are there any special
These
ratio?
are 1 in 25.
right?
Yeah, these are all 1 in 25s. I mean, this did sell 57 copies last week. Had a 7-day uptrend, 65% up sale, and the normal raw sales, which is $40. That's what pretty much they're going for. If you can wait a little bit and get them for ratio at 25, definitely pick them up because those early ones are they're starting to trickle out because people aren't really ordering 25 anymore. So, but they're great books. I think the next one is with 100. I think you're going to get the first appearance of a new character, if I'm not mistaken, or 101.
Yeah, you got to think they're planning huge things for Batman 100, like like Detective 127 or 1027 or whatever it is. So,
1027.
Any idea who the new character? Have they teased it yet?
Yeah, I can't think of what his name is. To be off the top of my head, I can't remember. And I'm so far.
If you see the design variants, just snatch them up whenever you can. Because you know what, DC doesn't do quite as well. I mean, they have a lot smaller output anyway. So if you can ever find a DC 1 in 25, 1 in 10, 1 in 50 variants, grab them because they're going to be hot. So number 8 on the list is Batman 99. I'm just going to go by what the graphics say, and then we'll just have to move around. So number 7 on the list is an oldie but goodie. Look at that, boys and girls. Amazing Spider-Man number 365 is back on the list. And why? Good question. The first appearance of Spider-Man 2099 is starting to pick up again. Both sales and prices are increasing. Granted, the recent newsstand 9.8 sold $1,225. Definitely had a hand in lighting this on fire. It sold 36 copies, had a 7-day trend of 146, had a high sale of $224.50 for a CDC 9.8. Where the hell did somebody buy? Well, I guess so. I guess it's somebody really wanted a newsstand really bad, and they thought it was
they thought it had legs.
Yeah, because the ironic thing is, in 1992, newsstand was probably more common than direct market.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because you think about 1992, 7-Elevens, just tons of places that sell them. So whoever paid $12.25 for this. Congratulations. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to interview him just like that other guy. Who
Oh
bought
my
that
God.
book.
Yeah, I was just
Like,
going to say that.
do you remember who was that guy? He spent like, he
Previews
spent
book.
$3,000 more than anybody else. Let's talk to him and make sure he's a real person. But number 7 on the list, The Amazing Spider-Man, number 365. Yeah, there you go. So $12.25. Congratulations to you for buying what you thought was a rare newsstand, but newsstand was actually in higher demand, or was higher print runs in 1992. But go figure.
He's a new collector.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to number 6 on the list. What do we got, Justin?
Ooh, number 6, Undone by Blood. This book is crazy hard to find right now. This is done by Aftershock. It is upcoming. Aftershop's getting some TV deals with Norman Reedus production company. Big Bad Bald production.
Say that one time fast.
I know. I was thinking of Otto as I was reading that.
Shout out to Otto working at the bar.
Yeah, which helped basically, help this first issue, take the number 6 spot. You had some sales, 35 copies sold last week, 7-day uptrend of 500%.
Good God.
And a $29.99 in Raws, all the way up to $65 in Raws. It's unbelievable. And this just came out.
So be careful, man. Especially for something that just came out, that just got optioned. So, it could come on next year. It could just be held on and never come out. So remember these
2
small
words. Peter Panzerfaust.
Oh my God.
Descender. Remember God Country? Donny Cates was writing a script for it. Whatever happened to that? So I always say, be careful. I mean, obviously, if you got in on these and you got them for cover price, kudos to you. But there's, like I explained in the last video, man, a lot of times Hollywood will pick up the options on these so nobody else will. Right. And then they'll try to sit on it for as long as they can. But who knows? Maybe with Norman Reedus behind it, maybe he's got a deal somewhere with AMC, with the Walking Dead going away. By the way, the new Walking Dead show came out and the critics just ripped it apart.
With the kids?
The teen angst version of, I guess, Dawson's Creek and the Walking Dead put together. So be careful with those. But congrats to those who have Undone by Blood, number 1. This is the Robinson variant. Still a pretty dope looking book.
It's a cool looking, I
don't think I've ever
what's
seen
the
this
story like?
I have no idea.
Yeah, this is one of those things where even my LCS, they order maybe 10 of them. You know what I mean? It's not like they're not going to order these a ton, especially since it's like, let's look at what was that new Kirkman Kung Fu book, the Firepower book? They really ordered a lot of those because just simply Kirkman's name is behind it. But this one is done by Lanny Dodler and Zach Thompson. Not really the giant names in the comic book industry for Aftershock, but you never know. Norman Reedus, maybe it'll pull something off. So we always like to see little comic book projects get made on TV. So there you go. Number 6 is Undone by Blood. Number 1, the Robinson variant. We're halfway there, boys and girls. And number 5 on the list. Hey, look at that. Another spider book. This one is ARANA, Heart of the Spider, number 1. With the unconfirmed rumors that Arana,
that N has a tilde at the top, so it's Arana.
It's Spanish for the spider, like Arana's hombre. You ever seen that Spider-Man book in Spanish? So this is and her name is Anya Corazon. Will be the Spider-Woman in Olivia Wilde's Spider-Woman project at Sony. Really?
I don't know about that.
Collectors quickly escalated the market values for her first appearance in Amazing Fantasy number 1, which came out in 2004. As we've seen in this market, collectors quickly move on the next key appearance, given spike to her first solo series that sold 24 copies, had a 7-day trend of 261%, had its high sale of $22.50, and the variant hit a huge high of $112.50 for a raw near mint. Can you believe that? So if you think that Olivia Wilde's Secret Spider-Woman project is based on Arana, then there you go. This is the one to get. This is the Mark Brooks variant. But all the places that I've reached out to, it says it's going to be it's collab with Sony and Marvel Studios, and it's going to be Jessica Drew. And if you looked at the Olivia Wilde interview she had, she goes, "Oh, I don't want to say too much because I'm worried about Kevin Feige's snipers." So if you put those two together and what people are thinking that it's Jessica Drew, but now either way, it's still a cool first appearance. Do I think Sony will come out of the gate with an ARANA movie when Spider-Woman is the much bigger character? I don't know, man. That's an interesting thing. But like I said, this is a hypersensitive market right now. Collectors' antennas or their ears are up for any little thing. And like I said, if you don't want FOMO, just buy everything, because this came out in 2005. Although Mark Brooks is one of my favorite cover artists, so this is still pretty cool. It's one of the more goofiest costumes I would ever say. The sneakers and the sky diamond goggles really give it away. But there you go, ARANA, who is Marvel's next Spider. And actually, I do believe she's Spider-Girl too in another universe with the all black suit. So you never know. I mean, but I think it's Jessica Drew. But all right, so number 4 on the list is probably the biggest news of the week, news that dropped this week. What do we got for number 4, Justin?
Our oldest book on the list, and oldest book in a
We
while.
rarely ever get old books on here. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's so Avengers number 8. Speculation being that Kang the Conqueror has been cast and being the potential villain in Ant-Man 3. That gave tons of boost for this book.
I think that takes all speculation away once the guy has been cast.
Yeah, I know, right?
They didn't really say though for sure.
We don't know which version. We don't know which version, but you know, he does have a very complicated history, as we all know, and he has several different versions. So, but this is the one that everybody flung to get, Avengers number 8. Maybe if you look at a top 20, the other books may be on there, but for right now, collectors are going with his first appearance. It sold 29 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 321% and a high sale of $1,500 and a 9.8.
That
so definitely
is
tough for a 64 book.
And I think that's still a great price for this book, because this Kang is a major character. People have been speccing Kang for a long time now. It's only a matter. As soon as time travel was introduced into the MCU, people immediately started gobbling this book up. And if you watch Lords of Long Box, I actually did a video for my man Mikey Sutton as soon as the scoop came out. And it goes back to we scooped Kang last year. He was coming. Oh, yeah. And now they're saying that the actor Jonathan Majors, who does a killer. If you guys have not watched Lovecraft Country on HBO, it is a fantastic sci-fi series on HBO. You need to go peep it out. I really, really enjoyed it. It comes out every Sunday, but it's a great show. He is great in it. The word that I got is that he is going to be playing Ramatut first, and then eventually evolve into Kang. So Kang is coming, but his also appearances are Ramatut, which is FF19, which is a bit of a pricey book, but he's also Immortus and he's also Iron Lad. What's interesting is how professional comic scoopers and poopers actually who don't know anything about comics immediately started trending Reed Richards is going to be cast as a person of color. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but they took one leap and just immediately assumed because a African-American actor was going to be playing Kang, that all of a sudden Reed Richards was going to be a person of color. But if you realize that Ramatut is a person of color from Egypt, who can an African-American actor could perfectly play an Egyptian character named Ramatut. So it's going to be complicated. So we also know he's going to be debuting, they say, in Ant-Man 3, but also Kid Loki, or excuse me, that's another spec for another day. But anyway, Loki is going to be time traveling and run into Ramatut, who eventually becomes Kang. If you want to see a really good description of the video, Jesse, JLS Comics, drop a link to your video in the description below. Jesse does a whole intro, history of it, because it gets rather complicated. And anytime there's time travel, I know there's been talks of Owen Wilson also playing a version of Kang in Loki. So just know that in the Loki show, Loki will be time traveling due to one of the Tesseract or whatever space or time gem, or that space gem that he has. So he's going to be able to travel through time, and then you're going to probably run into Kang. And also they're saying that Kang can also probably be realm in the quantum realm. All of it is early now, but as we always say on our show, we knew the character was coming, and that's what we care about. Who cares when or who is going to play them? But now that we actually have an actor attached to it, like we said, Kang is coming. Start buying Avengers number 8. And we told you this last year, and we also told you look at FF19, which is another great book to look at. So glad to see that, we got some Silver Age goodies on here. Not everything is just
and
news.
That's nice. That 7.5 is that sweet spot for
Shout out to Swoverine, where I bought a 7.0 off him. So shout out to Bobby for that. Nice. Yeah. Actually, Bobby has a 9.0 that he held on to. So he, nice enough. He sold me his 7.0. So I think Swoverine may have 4 copies of it. But number 4 on the list, Avengers number 8 from 1964. Good to see some Silver Age on there. All right.
Yeah.
So back to the modern weird stuff. What do we got for number 3, Justin?
Number 3, we have Amazing Fantasy number 1. So you already talked about Arana in her first solo or mini series. This one is her first actual appearance. We've talked about all the Amazing Fantasy books that have been on this list. I mean, you have Amadeus Cho last week or the week before. You guys had Scorpion book. It's just like there's so many key characters that it came out of this series. But with that being said, this did sell 49 copies, 7-day uptrend of 200%, and a high sale of $240. And a 9.8 and a 9.6 sold for just about the same as well. So
I see this book a lot too. This is like used to be like a $5 to $10 wall book. You know, you know
I
what
got
I mean?
one from Very Gary for $10.
If anybody in the live chat, because I know my man Matt Forge and the Butcher and them, I know they follow a lot of YouTube and Instagram accounts. If you guys know where this spec came from, if it started from a channel, so leave it in the live chat. I'd like to know where the genesis of this was, because some cats, I think Universe X even told me before where some of these are coming from. So it'd be interesting to see why it's coming. I mean, because some people just make a video about it, and then all it takes is 10 people to buy it, and it can show up on the list. So there you go, Arana. But I'm telling you, her Spider-Girl character is much cooler looking. She has basically the black Spidey costume from Web of Spider-Man in that version of Spider-Girl. So it's interesting. So number 3 on the list is Amazing Fantasy, and I think we talked about it for the last few weeks. This entire series has a ton of first appearances in it. Obviously, Amadeus Cho is the priciest of them all. But all right, let's move to some mutant goodness. Look at that. Number 2 on the list is X-Men. Number 2. Has this book come out yet?
Last week. 12. Number 12. Yeah.
Look, it was on just last week, and it's already on the list, boys and girls. X-Men number 12. This issue features the first appearance of the Summoners, on Iska, the Unbeaten, the White Sword, and the first cover appearance of the High Executioner.
Man, it looks like a Halloween comic cover if I've ever seen one.
It looks like you ever seen Hellboy and the second one?
Yeah.
And doesn't that look like the King and Memory of His Sister?
Yes, it does.
I actually love that film, man. Those Hellboy films I think are very underrated. The Guillermo del Toro ones, not the new one, but this sold 50 copies at a 7-day trend of 242%. Had a high sale for $20 for a raw copy. So 242 just means it went from, just don't let those fool you, just high sale $20, but it sold enough, had a big enough bump to make it on their list. So Cross of Swords, or whatever you say, is coming, and that's the next big thing. It went from Powers of 10 to X-Men of 10 and Powers of X and all this shit. So it's moving to Cross of Swords. So it'd be interesting to see where that goes. I am actually looking forward to it, because it looks like they're going to do an Infinity Styles and Gem storyline with all these different swords that each mutant is going to bear. I'm telling you, Hickman is going really, really deep with this stuff. All I'm saying is, they better have the damn Excalibur sword, because that, in my opinion, is the most powerful fake sword ever created. Is there any other stronger sword?
Soul Sword? Magic wields?
He-Man.
It's got to be Excalibur, man. It's got to be Excalibur. Only the king can wield it, goddammit. We're talking Excalibur.
By the power of Grayskull, bro.
Oh, come on now. We ain't talking about no power of Grayskull sword. What was that sword called again?
I don't know.
The He-Man sword?
The He-Man
sword. The live chat will correct us for it. All right, so X-Men number 12, the Lentil Francis U variant. That is a really sick looking cover, actually. I'm digging it.
I like it.
Yeah, so there you go. John and Hickman doing some crazy stuff, creating some new mutants. And, I'm too bad our man Zach had to work, because I know he's big on X-Men and all the new stuff they're doing. I'm looking forward to it, because the first run of Hickman, that X-Men that Hickman did, man, he really went crazy. And I had to read glossaries for weird symbols and shit. I was like, man, this is turning into freaking homework that he's doing here. So let's hope he just kind of makes it straightforward for us, and we get swords.
Hickman straightforward? Stop.
That is true, yeah. But no, you got to admit, the X-Men run that he started, he went extra with all these weird symbols. I didn't know I was supposed to be paying attention to those symbols. It's like watching a Nolan film. I didn't know I was supposed to be paying attention to all that. All right, so number 2 on the list is X-Men number 12, the Lentil Francis U variant. And I probably mispronounced that, and you guys will correct me in the live chat. What do you got for number 1, Justin?
Ooh, I already talked about the variant of this, but Undone by Blood number 1. when the variant covers dry up, the regular covers are always the best ones to get. So, as I mentioned before, it's Aftershock. It's getting a TV deal with Norman Reedus' company. It's taken the top spot. Sold for their top sale on a Raw was $30. Look at that uptrend, 569% of last week, and sold 35 copies. So clearly, people are thinking the next thing is going to be Norman Reedus in a Western. So we're going from zombies to Western. So
yeah,
something new, I guess, right?
There's
an iron horse to a regular horse.
So we all know that person that only follows like indie bands. Like as soon as the indie band makes it big, that they sold out because they're popular now. There's the same segment of that in comic book collectors that only collect independent books because whatever Marvel DC2 it does is too mainstream. I got to be indie, and then once it gets popular, it's too popular now. I need to find even more indie books. So like I said, it's always the constant grasp for the next Walking Dead book. And let's be honest, there has yet to been another Walking Dead book, right? I mean, Ryan brought up a good example of Peter Foster House, for God's sakes. Mine was Chew. Remember Chew by Image?
Yeah.
That was my thing. And then you had like the kids walking to a bank, all these indie books. So hopefully they do well. Just, like even if you see 569 trend, that just means it went up from $5 to $30. So, just be careful. There's a lot of them sold, but if you can find one for cover price, nag onto it. If it does ever get brought to TV, there's been a lot of TV shows that came after The Walking Dead, and they're still not the same levels of, and I'll put us full screen back now. If you think about in Umbrella Academy, very well done, but the price is not nearly as far as The Walking Dead. The Boys, absolutely fantastic, but they're not Walking Dead 1 type prices. So just know the TV spec is a little bit different than movie spec, especially if it's on DC and Marvel. Like if we think back to Bloodshot and maybe some of these smaller films, they're not quite the spec, but it's always hard to say what the collectors want because as you can tell by this list, it's a little bit all over the place.
Well, you can also look at movies like V for Vendetta. I don't know if those books really, or League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, like those kind of books didn't really, and those were DC and Marvel, weren't they? Or no, those were
what about
Watchmen? DC.
The Watchmen series was fantastic, and congratulations, they won Emmys. The Mandalorian won some Emmys.
Oh yeah,
but those like the Watchmen series was fantastic, but it didn't necessarily bump like Watchmen #1, which was the first appearance of Dr. Manhattan, right? I mean, I thought you would think. It's just interesting on what the collectors think and what they will put out there.
Superheroes. It seems like that's really what it is.
I mean, Lock and Key, same thing.
Lock and Key was a fantastic, and it's getting a season 2, I believe. I think The Boys this season, I think they did a great job by not putting everything out at the same time. Because I think when they release it on a weekly schedule, now we don't have water coolers, but it creates water cooler talk. So you can talk about and build up an episode. And I think what changed that for everybody? The Mandalorian. When that came out, we had people were like, can't wait till the next episode comes out. We didn't even talk about the Mandalorian trailer that dropped. Did you guys check it out?
Yes, amazing. It looks so good.
Do you guys think that's Sabine Wren in the hood?
I hope so.
I know you hope so.
#1.
I know you hope so because we've been telling you guys they're coming. And guess what? This Thursday, and hopefully Justin can make it since he's got a lot of these books on there. We have a Star Wars long-term spec list. Yes, we kind of started this thing with the Heir to the Empire book last year. We started this stuff about the Star Wars spec. Now everybody's specking Star Wars. Well, guess what? My man Mikey Sutton got a hold of some information that I think you guys would deem interesting, and the characters on these are rather obscure, not even EU characters. They are part of regular Star Wars universe, but they're obscure characters. And I looked them up, and but there's 6 of them, and all but 1 of them have already appeared in the comic books. So
really?
I will leave it at that. Yeah, Ryan, I sent it in the private group chat.
I wasn't paying attention.
I sent it 3 times, but
I haven't looked at them. I looked up all of them. There's a couple of Bronze Age, and it's half Marvel and half Dark Horse. I'll leave it at that. And then, so we're going to drop it Thursday, but also on Thursday, we're finally going to do the 5,000 subs giveaway. Sith Lordly, drop the chat, drop the link in there. All you have to do is make sure you subscribe, like that video, and watch the video, and then comment with the proper hashtag. And I'll probably pull like 5 winners this Thursday. So make sure you tune in this Thursday. We'll probably go live right around 5-6 o'clock. We got a Star Wars
long-term spec list, and believe it or not, it's Mandalorian based for the big screen. So I'll just say that it's something that they want to do on the big screen. It's gotten so popular that it's going to move from Disney Plus onto the big screen, and we got some characters that have been going to be being researched for this movie franchise. That's all I can say, because I know people have been jumping on Star Wars books like crazy right now. This is the perfect time for this to drop. So make sure you tune in Thursday. We're going to do a long-term spec list, and we're going to do the 5,000 subs giveaway for thank you to getting us right now at 5,320 something subs. Shout out to all 243 of you watching. Sith Lord just dropped the link right there. I'm going to give away a couple slabs. I'm going to probably pick about 5 winners. Grand prize winner, we'll get a slab. We'll get some KRS variants. We'll get a Geeky Swag Shop, and also get a trade paperback from our sponsor, Comics, Tunes, and Toys in Tustin, California. The Big To Do, hit him up on Instagram. He gave me some cool paperbacks. And actually, if you go to that link and watch the entire video, at the end, I show everything we're going to be given away to give us love back to you who have stayed with us for all this time. We're trying to get as many winners as we can. Definitely some, at least 5 sets of KRS Comics variants that are all sold out on the website. So these will be worth it alone. And that's it. Any last words, Darkside Jedi?
No, thanks. I'm glad that I'm back. It's been a while.
All right. Well, you need to research all those Star Wars characters.
I will. Look, I haven't. Look. When I take a mental health break, I block all of you a-hole. Well, that's rude. You guys aren't a-holes. I block you all from my mind. And now
out of mind, out of sight.
Exactly.
All right. Well, there you go. You will be.
But now I have homework. I will do some research.
So I know Darkside Jedi, maybe Zach. I know for sure Otto. Justin, will you be making it on Thursday or no?
I don't know. It's too early in the week to decide. But I definitely want it. I saw the list. I really like the characters.
You do realize it's only 2 days away.
I know, it's so far though. You know.
But Otto will be here, so we're gonna make Otto give some homework, because some of these words are gonna be hard to pronounce. So.
Yeah, they definitely are. That one
they are very Star Wars type names. There is no like John or Luke or Bobby or any on these names. These are definitely Star Wars type names. I'll leave it at that. So, any last words, Justin?
No, great show, guys. Glad to be back. CovrPrice is always awesome, even though when I'm not here. And Thursday is going to be an unbelievable show for the 5,000 sub giveaway. And Star Wars news is always my favorite upcoming. So that's it, guys.
I think there would be some very interested comic book collectors about these Star Wars books, because I would say half of them, you're probably already sitting on these books. And it's interesting that these characters are going to be used because, all the big characters have been used already. So sometimes they got to pull from the smaller basic characters. So thank you all for joining us. We will see you Thursday when we announce the 5,000 subs giveaway and also a Star Wars long-term spec list. Until then, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is faithful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it. We're here. We're back.
Let's do a job. You can't get fresher than this.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
When it comes, I won't even notice. Oh, how so? I'll be too busy looking good.
You can't understand.